Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, and please do not forget to sign in. Um, Sometimes I see you coming into Zoom. I admit you, but then when I look at the attendance sheet, your name is not there. And when I'm busy like teaching, I forget. So please make sure that you sign in if you can. At least maybe text me via remind. Okay, so your attendance will be counted. I found a way to uninstall and reinstall it. Yay! Nice one. Okay. All right. Your classmates have been reminding me to screencast. Anyway, so if you would like to see some of the screencasts for the past lessons, yeah, they can be found in Schoology. Okay, we want to get started over here, and then I'm gonna explain some of your questions about, the assignments. I got some questions earlier about, Miss, how come there's too many assignments? Okay, I'm going to explain those to you in a little bit. But for now, let's just focus on this one first. Yeah? Okay. All right. So, just to kind of summarize where we are and what we're doing. So, the main idea for this chapter is factoring, right? Okay, aside from factoring, we also did polynomials, right? So under polynomials, we learn how to add, we learn how to multiply, right? We also learn how to subtract. Okay, so that's what we've been doing in the past 2 weeks. Now for factoring, we've talked about greatest common factor. Now these two are reverse processes of each other. So these are opposites. These are reverse operation. This one you're multiplying two expressions, and then now we're breaking apart the expressions so we can figure out what we're multiplying. So we talked about the GCF, excuse me, we talked about the X method, right? And that's what we've been doing so far. So for today, I'm going to teach you another technique for factoring, which I call dots. Dots. So can everybody type dots in the chat pod? Dots. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. All right. And Esme, don't forget to sign in. I think last time I saw you, I admitted you, and then you didn't sign. But then I kind of doubted myself, like, wait, did she really come in or not? So can you sign in, honey? Okay. Let me know. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Did you sign in? Anyway. Yeah. Esme or Ruby. See now. Yeah. So last time I didn't. I wasn't sure, but I saw your last name in the chat. I wasn't sure if it was you or Ruby. Okay. Anyway. So thank you for typing dots in the chat pod. Okay, so what is dots? It's called dots because, as you can see from the name itself, D starts for difference because you see a minus sign, right? 2 means it has two terms, so it's a binomial. It's a binomial. They're twins, yeah? And then, the O is from the difference of, okay, of 2, and then S is for square. So why is it squares? Because each one is actually a perfect square, right? So each one is a perfect square. In other words, you can find a number or a variable to multiply by itself to get a squared. Like a squared is a times a. B squared is b times b. So now in the chat pod, can you give me numbers that are perfect squares? In the chat pod, give me numbers that are perfect squares. Example, 4, because it's 2 times 2. What else? 9, very good, because it's 3 times 3. What else? What else? Only 4 and 9? Come on, give me numbers that are perfect squares. Like 4, 9, 5. Did you mean 5 or 25? So when you multiply the number by itself, you should get the perfect square, like 3 times 3, 2 times 2. So what other numbers are perfect squares? What other? 36. Yes. Okay, how come Juliet is the only one giving me perfect squares? What about the others? Give me perfect squares. Put your feet down. I wish I could see you. Huh? Uh-huh. Take out that phone from under your thigh. Oh my god. I miss being in the classroom. 64. Very good. 8 times 8, right? Okay. What else? Alright, so but do you guys understand now what perfect squares mean? If you do, can you type perfect squares in the chat pod? If you do understand what a perfect square is, can you type perfect square in the chat pod? Okay. Only one? And no wonder Juliet was the okay, thank you, George. That's nice. Okay. Like Juliet gave us a lot of examples of perfect squares. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Good. Because I thought like you guys are not getting it because you guys are not giving me numbers that are perfect squares. Okay. All right. So we have to know what perfect squares are because that's what we're going to factor today. Now let me give you an example. I'm going to start with a simple example. Suppose I have x squared minus 4. It's a binomial, so 2. It's a difference because there's a minus, right? Now what are the squares? Tell me how am I going to break up x squared into two same variables in the chat pod? What same letter am I going to multiply by itself so I can get x squared? In other words, if they're twins, just break them apart. They should be identical. They should be identical. 1 times 1, right? So it's 1x times 1x. Okay, now what about the negative 4? So you can also put it like this, x parentheses x. So you can separate them like literally. So what about negative 4? We just talked about it earlier. So what two numbers multiplied by itself will give you negative 4? Anybody? You can just unmute yourself so you don't like switch from one screen to the other because I know that's hard. You know, I don't mind your background if it's like loud or whatever. I mean, you always hear my background. It's just loud because of my kids. So okay, so you have 2, right? But that's a negative. So negative 2 times 2 to get negative 4. Correct? Very good, George. So one has to be negative. Very good, Juliet and Cicely, and the other has to be positive. All right. Okay, cool. So now when you factor this, factor meaning you have to find two expressions that were multiplied together to get x squared minus 4. So the only thing you have to do is like you put the outliers together. I say outliers because they are outside the parentheses. So x minus 2. And then you put the insiders together. I call them insiders because inside the parentheses, x plus 2. Okay, how do you know that you're getting it right? Well, we can multiply, right? You remember how we multiplied last time? You can do the box method if you want, but that's too like long a time to do it. But I will still show you. Okay, so x minus 2 and then x plus 2. So this is x squared, this is negative 2x. X times 2 is 2x, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So you see how this just becomes 0, right? So if that becomes 0, then you're left with x squared minus 4. So that's what we mean by factoring them. This is the answer when you multiply them. You're trying to find the two things being multiplied. And to find that, you just break up the perfect squares, like x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 2. Okay, so how was that? Did you get that? Let's try another example, if that was too quick. Okay, suppose I have, okay, m squared minus 9. Give it some thought and tell me what I gonna put in the parentheses. Tell me how I'm gonna break this up and tell me how I'm gonna break that up. Okay, first question, m squared, break it up. M, very good. 2m, negative 9. Break negative 9 apart. Yep, 9, but it can't be like 9 times 9. So like find 3 times 3. Very good. One is negative, the other is positive, right? Okay, I'm gonna put that inside the parentheses, put that inside the parentheses. So now when you get the factors, combine the first with the first. So that's m take away 3. Next, combine the second with the second. So m plus 3. You're done. That's it. Easy? Yes, no? Okay, one more. Suppose I have 16 x squared minus 25 y squared. How about that? How about that? Okay, remember, you're doing the same thing. You gotta break these apart into two twins. Same thing here. Okay, I'll give you some time to think about that. How do I break up 16 and x squared? What two numbers multiplied by itself becomes 16? 4, very good. So 4 times 4. What about the x squared? 1. So x1, right? So it's going to be x times x. Okay, next, what about the 25y squared? 5, very good. So 5, what about the letter? So 5 and negative 5. There you go. Okay, what about the letter? Y, very good. Okay, and once you have done that, you're done. You just have to write down the final answer. So the final answer will become 4x minus 5y. I'm putting the minus first all the time because that's how you're going to enter your answer in Schoology. Okay? So you can switch them around, it doesn't really matter. But in Schoology, you have to follow the key to correction. And yeah, Sean, you texted me last time about the Schoology thing. Yes, the one of the questions I was the one who made a mistake. I put the plus first before I put a plus. No, I put a minus 2 before the positive 3, something like that, when it's supposed to be the bigger number first. I apologize, but I already did. I fixed that, so I'm not sure if you've used your second attempt already. Yeah, so let me know. Okay, but for this exercises later on, you have to put the minus first. Minus first. Okay, I'm gonna show you another one, and then we're gonna go to Schoology. So I'll explain the assignments, which one of you said, Miss, it's too much. Okay, here we go. Suppose I have 9 minus 81. No, not that one because it's already 9. 9 minus 49 x squared. So what if it's just a number here and the variable is right there? Well, doesn't matter. Do the same thing that you're doing. So break up 9. 3, 3. Very good. Break up 49 and x squared. 7. So negative 7x and positive 7x. So can you tell me what I'm going to write for the answer? What will be my first answer? 3 minus 7x. Second one? 3 plus 7x. Very good. Okay, so now from here, let's go to Schoology. And I'm going to explain something to you about your work. Remember last time when I said some of them are extra credit, but I put them there so you guys can work on them if you have time. And today is the last call for the other extra credit. I know I got Cicily's. I also got I got some of your remind text messages. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to record that by this weekend. Okay, so these two, you see, this is the last call for set number 1. This was assigned like what? I think Tuesday? Okay, this is required. That's not negotiable. And some of you have done it. That's great, you guys. This is for the X method. Now these two are extra credit. If you don't do them, you don't get a 0. But if you do them, I'll show you something. If you do them, or let me pause my screen because it might show the grades and I don't want to expose anybody. I'll edit. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen right now. Yeah? Okay, so those extra credits. Okay. So look at what I did over here. Where's the set 1? Is this a set 1? Yeah. Oh no, that's a set 2. Where's the set 1? This is a set 1. Okay. Alright, so set 1, it's out of 15 points. I doubled the weight. You see that? The factor is times 2. I doubled the weight. Now these two are extra credits also. Those are a lot of extra credit points, 15 and 20, and they're also double the weight. Because I really want you to be very good at this topic. You will need this not just for Algebra 1, but for your entire math or high school year. So that's why I want you to practice on this. But at the same time, I don't want to penalize you if you're like so busy you're helping your parents. But if you have the time, maybe while watching TV, while waiting for, to be sleepy, do some of them. Okay? And you're given it, I'm giving you incentives in doing that. Okay. So now let's go to our work today. In Schoology, I'm pausing my screen. Give me 1 second because I don't want the grades to be showing. Okay, resume share. Here we go. So let's do this. Extra practice, difference of two squares. This must be done, what's the date today? Today is the 5th. So we have to do this before midnight. It's only like 6 questions. Let's start on it now, shall we? Okay, let me delete this one. All right, so when you're ready, and if you found what we're doing, can you type 7.7 in the chat pod? Type 7.7 in the chat pod if you found what we're doing. Good job, Sean. Oh, Sean, did you get mine? Yeah, did you hear me earlier? Oh, and Sean has already started. Let's go. Okay. So go ahead and start on it. It looks like, okay. It looks like this. Oh, why did I give you 5 attempts? Where did that come from? That's too many. Okay. Maybe I was so sleepy when I was doing this. So should have been just 2. I click on the wrong thing. Okay, so preview. Remember, you have to read the instructions because you may be super, super, super good at it. If you don't read the instructions, it's going to mark it wrong. Put the negative first. What are conjugates? That's just a fancy name for the answers. See, they come in conjugate because they look exactly the same, right? They're partners. Okay, so, oh, now my thing is not working again. All right, so they're partners because they look exactly the same except for the negative and the positive. So that's just a fancy name for pairs. Okay, so when you're putting the answer, the negative comes first before the positive. If in the original problem the number is first, like in number 3, then you have to put the number first as well in the answer. Okay, so can I give you about 10 minutes to work on that? And if you finish, let me know so I'll tell you where to go next. All right, try that one out. Do it now so you don't have to stress over it later on. And you can still ask me for help. Yep, because for sure you're going to be busy today. It's Friday. Okay, do it now. Ask me questions if you have any. Giovanni, did you see it? You haven't started. Christian, start on it, honey. Negative first, George. Minus first. Daniel, did you find it? You haven't started, honey. Axel, come on, get started. What's up, Jacob? I'm happy you could join us today. We're doing week 8, honey, difference of 2 squares. I know. Yeah. I screencasted so you will see the lesson that I did earlier. But if you can, try maybe some of them. It looks like this. So they're trying to break or factor s squared minus 49, such as this one, right? So if I can give you like a quick example here, if I have, why is my thing not writing again? Okay, so suppose I have x squared minus 100. So this is x times x, and this is negative 10 times 10. So when you write down the answer, it's going to be x minus 10, and then x plus 10. Sorry, my thing is acting up. There you go. All right, and when you enter the answers, it has to be the negative first before the positive. Right there. If in the problem the number comes first, then it has to be first also when you write down the factors. Okay, I know that was just like a super quick thing, but I don't know, did you see it? Or maybe I wasn't sharing my screen earlier. Alright, so if I have, hey Brandon, so I have another example over here. If I have x squared minus 100, x squared is x times x, and then negative 100 is actually negative 10 times positive 10. So when you factor it, it's going to be x minus 10. So you just pretty much pair them up. First goes with first, second goes with second. You're right, Cicely, no spaces. Yep. So it's going to be x minus 10 and then x plus 10. All right. So if you have, how do I erase this? So clear all drawings. If I have, let's say, 4 x squared minus 100 y squared, that should be a minus sign. So break that apart again. That's 2x times 2x. So in other words, you're getting the square root or the number that, you know, you passed. Yay! Good job, George. All right. Okay, so you have 2x and 2x. This one becomes, now George, there's a delta math. If you want to get started while I'm waiting for the rest, you could go ahead. And then this one is negative 10y and then positive 10y. Right? Because 10 times 10 is 100, y times y is y squared. So when you write down your answer, the negative comes first. So 2x minus 10y, close parentheses, and then 2x plus 10y, close parentheses. So that's your answer. Okay, can I give you 4 minutes on this one so we could all move on as a class? If you are done, don't let me slow you down. There's one on Delta Math. Go ahead and work on, what is it? It's called factoring trinomials. That's the one we're going to do next. All right, some of you have accessed it already. Hi, Valerie. I will be having examples on Delta Math again later on. So maybe, yeah, so maybe we can go over during the Delta Math examples and then you do this later on. If you've used all your attempts, let me know. Okay, so is it giving you partial points? Let me see. Yeah, allow partial credit. Save question. So no spaces and minus comes first. No spaces and minus comes first. Okay, let me see why some of you got 0 out of 6. Maybe spaces and stuff like that. I'm checking right now. Give me one quick second. Oh, Cicely. Minus first, honey. You have to switch your answers around. You're going to do minus first. Did you see that? Because your answers are S plus 7, S minus 7. Nice one, Aiden. Okay. Mathpapa.com. For real? It's not going to give my computer some virus? Does it factor it directly? Yeah, you use them, use them well. Just make sure that you know how you're doing it, definitely. Because right now, yeah, like even in my honors classes, I tell them get ready with your cheat sheet for next time, right? Because, you know, if you use them to your advantage, that's good. Yep. Nice. So you can use it to double check the answer. Okay, my advice though is you still have to kind of understand how to do it, because when you go back to school, make sure you are ready for geometry for next year. Okay? Because you can have all the help during work from home, right? During remote learning, but once you go back to the classroom, you're only competing with yourself, not with anybody else. So are you ready for geometry? Do you have the necessary skills to move on, right? So just make sure that You use them to your advantage. Oh, what happened, honey? So you can double check your answers. Okay, let me put your earring back. Okay, wait, honey. Okay, hang on. I'm checking my students' answers first. Give me one quick second. And I will. Okay, a few more minutes. And then we go to Delta Math. Some of you have not. Okay. Okay, Ava, did you use some spaces? Because, oh, and you also have to switch the order of, let's say, in number. Okay. In number 3, you put negative x plus 4, but you have to just put it 4 minus x, something like that. Okay? Yeah, because I'm looking at your answers right now, and they're just switched around. And I wonder why your minus sign looks longer than my minus sign. So I'm not sure like what symbol you're using. That's why it's marking it wrong. Yeah. Because in Schoology, is it just me or is it Delta Math acting kind of slow? Maybe, honey. Yeah. Okay, pick it up, honey. Go back to your Zoom now. Your teacher's looking for you. Okay. Are you drawing? No. What are you doing? I don't know. Okay. See? You don't even know what you're doing. You're gonna ask your teacher for your help, okay? Yeah? Okay, it doesn't work. I'll fix it later because mommy's busy. Close the door for me, honey. Alva, can I show you something? I don't know what symbol you're using because like I see your answer exactly the same as mine, but I don't know, like your minus sign is I know, and Schoology is like super yeah, very, very particular. And maybe you use an extra space in between. Yeah, can you double check later on? Otherwise, yeah, otherwise I will grade it myself. So use your second attempt. I know. That's why I like Delta Math more because it doesn't penalize the students for, you know. Yeah, but for Schoology, I mean, we have to find ways. We have to find workarounds for its limitations. So sometimes I grade them myself. Yeah. So use your second attempt. Your Delta Math isn't working. Okay. My audio does not work, but my answer for one, I had to submit one answer like 3 times. It just keep loading. I don't get nowhere. Oh, okay. Yeah, so is it glitching? Okay, let me know later, Ava, once you've used your second attempt, and then I'll try to like grade it myself. Cicely, did you have the same answers? Because both of you, I know, were marked. Some of your answers were marked wrong, and I don't know why, but they look exactly like mine. You passed? Yay! That's great. Okay, Louise, may I see yours as well? Because maybe you got the right answers, but Schoology is marking it wrong. I know, honey. Don't think it's you. It's technology. See, we are still smarter than technology. Okay, let me see some here. Oh, this one, Louise, I get it. Like, my key to correction has the S-7 first. Yeah, so can you switch them around? Uh-huh. Yeah, you put all positive first. And if the number comes first, you have to put the number first also. Okay? Alright, so those are just some. Don't worry, if Schoology marks your answers wrong, I can overwrite that myself. So just let me know and I will double check that one. Okay, some of you have not accessed this. I mean, I wanted you to start on it now so you can get feedback, but if you guys are not or have not even tried it, then you're going to be working on it on your own later on. Okay. All right, I'll see if it's 10:56 and I want to be able to help you with Delta Math as well. So I'm going to move on with Delta Math and see if I can make it work in my end. So just be ready with writing material so you can write down the answer. Delta Math says it has a connection error. Ooh, maybe it will do the same thing. Same? Okay. There was an internal error. Okay. Yeah, normally, like when I check their Facebook page, they also announce that um it has some errors within the day. Okay, mine I think is now having some connection errors. Okay. Anyway, but I promise some of you that I will be helping you with the difference of two squares again when we go over delta math. So I'll try to move on depending on what I see here on the screen. And then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we'll figure it out. Okay, so for this example, um, just like what I mentioned earlier, some of you were still trying to understand it when you were doing your Schoology, so I'm going to show some more examples here. Pretty much got 5/6. You kind of get it now? I'm happy for you, honey. If you have another attempt, why not get 6/6? And if you use up all your attempts, then let me know. I can delete one for you while I'm here. Okay, that's why I wanted you to do it while we're here so you can ask me for, reset or something like that. Okay, so for those who are still trying to understand it, you get the square root of each one. In other words, find that number such that when you multiply it by itself, you get 1. So 1 times 1. Same thing here. You have negative x times x, right? Okay. Can I just send screenshots of each level on Remind? What do you mean level, honey? Like the step 1, step 2, step 3? Is that the one? So the final answer here on delta. Oh, if you have them on paper, just put them on paper and then yeah, because it will be hard for me to like give you the grade. You get what I mean? We got 4/6 now on Schoology. Okay, so let me finish this and then I'll see um which ones you guys got wrong. So you put these two together. Ava, doesn't it show what you got wrong also? Can you look and then maybe we can analyze why or where the error is coming from? Okay, so 1 minus x and this is 1 plus x. There you go. So you're going to type in here 1 minus x and then 1 plus x. Is it working? Okay, there you go. And it has that explanation for you as well. I didn't want to use the term square root because you might get confused with that. So if you could just find two numbers that multiply by itself to give you these terms, then, if you understood it that way, that's simpler. Now, for those of you who are getting it now, then you could just think of, oh, I'm just finding the square root of 1, which is 1. I'm just finding the square root of x squared, which is x. Okay? All right, now I think my second problem was exactly the same. I made that error when I programmed this assignment. So just copy down the same exact thing, okay, and put in the same answer. My delta math seems to be working. How about yours? Is it working now? If not, just write down the answers on a piece of paper and catch up on it later on. Okay. Okay, so let's try this. So 64, what is the square root of 64? Once you get the hang of it, you could just do it in your head, you know? So 64 is what? 8 times 8. Very good. Negative 9 is what? Negative 3 and positive 3. Very good. And then you just, bring down or break up the x squared into x times x. So your answer will be 8 minus 3x and then 8 plus 3x. There you go. Yes. All right. Okay. So some of us who were a little, not sure earlier, I hope you guys are getting it now. Okay, I left some level 1s for you to do. I'm going to jump to level 2. Okay, so look at level 2 right here. Ooh, look at that. The exponents now are bigger, right? So how are we going to do that? Okay, so if you get the square root of x to the 6, it's like, you're dividing the 6 by 2, yeah? So that's going to be x to the third power, right? So in other words, that's not squared, it should be third. Okay, you rewrite x to the 6 as x to the third, x to the third. Because when you add 3 plus 3, you get 6. Uh-huh. Now, same thing here. That's going to be y3, y3, right? Now, what's the last answer? Okay, hang on. I'm writing so I can go back. Can somebody type in the last answer in the chat pod? Thank you. Okay, did this one negative 100, so that's going to be negative 10 and positive 10. So this will become positive 10y. Thank you. Thank you, Cicely. All right. There you go, Valerie. Cicely posted it for you. So that's going to be 10y to the third power. Okay, so your final answer here will be x to the third power minus 10y to the third power. Okay. Oops. Times x to the third plus 10y to the third. So that's going to be the final answer. Submit. And there you go. Clear ink. Okay, see how Delta Math accepts whether the plus comes first or the minus comes first? Yeah, it's only Schoology that has its very specific way of grading the correct answer. Yeah. Okay, let's do another one. I'll do another level 2. Let's do this. Okay, I think you can now do it in your head. Have you reached a point when you can just do things in your head as far as this topic is concerned? I'm pretty sure some of you can do it now, right? Mentally, that's your goal. Uh-huh. So if you can, push yourself to be able to just look at it. Oh, I know this. Oh, I know. That's 4x, 4x, right? Okay, so 16 is 4 times 4, so 4x. And then negative 1, it's just 1 times 1. For small numbers like this, you should be able to try them in your head. Okay, so minus 1 and then 4x plus 1. All right, I'm halfway done. All right, come on, look who's showing off right now. Good for you, honey. Good for you. Yep. Keep going. Uh-huh. Don't let me slow you down. All right. Nice one. Okay. All right. So submit answer. So how do you find this topic? I didn't expect this topic to be like super, super confusing. I think it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's okay. All right. Now I'm trying to um Aiden, can you do me a favor? Can you share your screen and show us how Math Papa works? You know, because if that could help you guys, why not? Aiden, Aiden, you hear me? Aiden, look at me. You're not looking at me. Put the phone down, Aiden. I'm talking to you. No, kidding aside. Aiden, can you share your screen and show us how you're doing it or how you're using it? Aiden, he's not even answering me. Okay. Can you share your screen? Anyway, while waiting for Aiden, um, I'm gonna show you the other part of the assignment in Delta Math right here. So the first 10 is about the lesson today, while the bottom 10 is on factoring using X method again. Okay. All right. Aiden is probably done with his work, huh? And he's not sharing. See? He's not even answering in the chat pod. Who has Aiden's phone number? Text him. Okay. Oh, shouldn't I have it and remind? Anyway, so here we go. What's the last answer again? Valerie, what are you doing? Alright. You must be busy, huh? Wait, the last answer was this one. Yeah. You got it? Okay. What are you doing, Valerie? Are you cooking or what? You're folding clothes or what? I have a hamper next to me. Okay, here we go. But for real, I'm in the bedroom and the hamper is in the bedroom. I understand, honey. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I also have like a baby who's distracting us earlier. She's a kid. Okay, so now let's do this. I have 5x squared plus 37x plus 14. There you go. Just think of it this way, Valerie. Like, um, is the baby your sibling or your nephew, niece? At least the parents were able to save some money for daycare, right? So at least you were able to help, honey, and your contribution is nephew, yeah. So I know. Okay, just put your nephew in your lap, you know. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do the X method for this one. All right. So if you remember doing this, you multiply these two numbers together, right? Which is 5 times 14. By Louise, make sure you're gonna do your work, yeah? If you're not done yet. Okay, so 5 times 14 is actually 70, right? So that's equal to 70 if you multiply them together. And then the middle number goes at the bottom, so that's 37. Okay, so now you're gonna find two numbers that multiply to 70, they times to 70, but they add up to 37. Okay? Alright, now sometimes it doesn't click right away. So maybe you can further break it down like, oh, this is 5, 14 is 7 times 2, right? All of these are the same. And then you see that, oh, I know this, like 5 times 7 is 35, right? And then the other factor is 2. So when I add 35 plus 2, I get 37. Yeah, so sometimes it's even better to leave them apart instead of you multiply them. I do that when the numbers are big. Hmm. Okay, and then after that, whatever number you see in front, you have to divide it here. There you go. 35 divided by 5 will give you 7. Now 2 over 5, you're going to leave it like that. Reduce if possible, but it's not possible. Okay, so then you remember your bottoms up rule right here? So you write 5 first, use the letter in the problem, so 5x, and then put the numerator plus 2. So that's one answer. Well, here it's going to be just x because there's no number at the bottom. You were able to reduce it, right? So x plus 7. Now, I'm going to put the answer as if we are in Schoology. So in Schoology, you have to type in the plus 7 first before the plus 2 because it's bigger. So that's how the keep to correction looks like in Schoology. 5x plus 2. So that's the correct answer. Aiden, you're such a snob. You have not even answered me in the chat pod. Okay. All right. So submit answer. But you guys might want to look at what he shared earlier. It's this one. I don't know what it can do. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it gives all the answers. But if it helps you, you know, just don't take away the understanding part of the lesson, okay? Yeah, you can use it to double check your answers, maybe get some clues, get some explanations. If Mr. Siaga's explanation is not enough, just make sure that you're getting yourself ready for your next math class next year, okay? Don't just copy the answer. And then what did you learn? Like none, right? So remember, you want to be better, not better than somebody else, but better than yourself, you know, yesterday. Symbol lab is also helpful. There you go. I'm gonna write this down. So those who are not with us today, symbol lab. Okay. So those who are not joining us can see that when they're watching this screencast. All right. If there's one thing that's positive about this pandemic, I think it taught us to be creative in a good way. Okay, in a good way, right? I mean, we had to figure out what works for us given our constraints, and math is basically just that. It's not so much about the numbers. It's not so much about the answers, but it's the thinking processes. Okay. All right. Okay, let's do one more before we go. Um, what is the answer to this one again? It's x plus 7 and then 5x plus 2. You see that? It's still right there, so you can still see it. Okay, I'm going to clear the ink now, and then let's do one more before we go. So this one will be what? You multiply 3 times 21. So 3 times 21 will become 63, right? This is another thing you can do. Just write that number in front of here or at the end. Okay, now what two numbers multiply to 63? It's going to be 9 times 7, right? Because 9 plus 7 is 16. Okay, and then you divide 9 by 3 and divide 7 by 3. So this will become 3. Well, 7 over 3, just leave it like that. You completed the delta math. Nice. Okay, so let's write down the answer. This will become 3x plus 7 and then x plus 3. So bottoms up rule, remember? The bottom number goes up before the variable, and then you put the plus 7. And then here you go, x plus 3. All right, and then you submit your answer. Okie dokie. All right, so what are your to-dos this weekend? Remember, you have to Wait, let me. Did all of you sign in? Did all of you sign in? Okay, give me one quick second before you go, because if you did not sign in, I'm gonna mark you absent. Um. Okay, so I know Jacob came in a little later, right? Okay, so Giovanni is here and you did not sign in again. Christian was um here but did not sign in. Sean is here. Jacob is here. You guys are not signing in. Erlinda is here. Kayla is here. When we go back to school and we have like prom or dance or something, and you are put on stop clearance because of your absent, only then, you two, only then you guys are gonna regret, oh my god, I should have fixed my attendance. Okay, George Olivas, are you here? Okay, hang on. Olivas is not here. Montesno Morris, I saw Morris but did not sign in. Okay, who else? I'm almost done, you guys. Esme was here but not Ruby. Augustine, nope. Oscar, nope. And Valerie was here. Okay, you guys, I will see you all next weekend or next week. Yep, do your extra credits. Okay, take care of yourself. Help at home. And do some work when you can, okay? Bye, you guys. Take care. You have a good day. Bye. Bye. Have a good one. No, there you go. You took it out again? Oh, can just go off. Oh my god. All of them can go off. Why does it always come off? Because of my pillow's super big. What? My pillow.